So what do these headlines mean for us? It means we're living in a fragile democracy, one that is teetering between health and illness. Let's look at the signs. Here's a sign of health. One of the reasons it's taking so long to count all the votes is because there were so many votes. Voter turnout skyrocketed to 67% because so many people were determined to make their voices heard. But a sign of sickness? It was much too hard for too many people, especially Black people, to vote. In fact, data show that it takes at least 3 times as long to vote in Black neighborhoods as it does in white ones. And let's just take the example of the Atlanta area, where voter registration rose swiftly, but the county did not open any additional polling places, and that caused long lines and ridiculous delays. Okay, but there are signs of health. Local officials are, in fact, working diligently to count the vote, but then there are signs of illness. You have a president who's asking that the votes not be counted. Here's a sign of health. Thousands have taken to the street to demonstrate their support for a fair and democratic process that counts every vote. But here's a sign of illness. Right-wing groups have joined together to mischaracterize these demonstrations with blame, intimidation, and violence. So for us, this means that we must shore up our democracy in this precarious moment because we are balancing on a razor's edge. And the First Amendment to the Constitution, the first, ensures that we, the people, have the right to peaceably assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. The right to demonstrate, to take to the street, to make our grievances known, to make our will clear is not a matter of state law or local ordinance. It is our constitutional right. So right now, police in many cities are harassing, threatening, arresting, and deterring Black people and our allies from assembling to demand that our votes be counted. These police are not partnering with the people to protect our votes. They're pairing up with major corporations like U.S. Bank in Wisconsin to systemize injustice. Right now, far too many in media are using false equivalencies to report the mobilized actions across the country. They're pretending there's no difference between unlawfully storming a polling station, shouting, "Stop the count," and peaceably demonstrating to demand protect our votes. Right now, storefronts are boarded up across the country in preparation for protests, as though potential damage to business property is more dangerous and terrifying than the deep damage already inflicted on our democracy by unchecked voter suppression and unconstitutional demands to ignore lawful ballots. And right now, Black people are being blamed for chaos caused by extremists on the right wing and by their partners in government and police departments. And right now, organized forces of white supremacy are raging against Black people for exercising our rights while remaining silent about the forces seeking to steal our votes and silence our voices. And right now, we are called to protect the protesters who are defending our vote. So what must we do right now to protect those vote defenders? Here's today's call to action. First, keep right on demanding that every vote is counted. Second, hold news outlets accountable for biased, stereotypical reporting on mass demonstrations. You see, media does have a responsibility to clearly distinguish between those who are mobilizing to defend the vote and those who are mobbing to shred our democracy. You can learn more about how media should be talking about protests by checking out the narrative guide on colorofchange.org. And number 3, take action. Text news to 55156 to get the information you need to ensure that every vote is counted.